Good evening, we are Weston Bay Rotary and we're here this evening and lucky to have a guest speaker for our regular fortnightly meeting held at the Woolpack every other Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. I would like to get straight started and introduce you to Sam, who is fundraising for CoppaFee this year.
Yep.
So getting straight started, who are you?
I'm Sam. I'm from the Western area, live over in Will, and yeah, as Ross said, I'm doing some fundraising for a breast cancer awareness charity called CoppaFee.
Excellent. And can you tell us a bit about your background, your story?
Yeah, of course I can. So when I was 19 years old, I was living up north at the time, so not local then, but I was at university, living my life to the fullest, loving everything. It was all great, going out clubbing and playing hockey and just living my best life. I thought I was invincible. And then when when we got into the summer of that year, I was like, oh, getting some hot sweats. I'm far too young to be having the menopause. And I had itchy legs and just wasn't really feeling very well at all. Decided to ignore it, put it down to hangovers and hay fever and all that usual sort of stuff. And one day I noticed a little lump on my side. So my mum said, go to the GP, it's probably just a cyst. So went to the GP, had lots of tests. When you're 19 and lots of tests come, you're a bit like, it's a bit weird. So all these tests, and then in the August of 2012, everyone's enjoying life, living the Olympics to the best. And I was sat in a consultation room and told that I had cancer. So a consultant sat me down and he said, you've got Hodgkin lymphoma, which is a type of blood cancer. And from there on out, my life completely changed. I went straight from that appointment into chemotherapy a week or so later, and I had chemotherapy for 6 months. Every 2 weeks, I sat in a room with people that were like much older than me, and I was just absolutely scared. Like that whole 19-year-old feeling of feeling indestructible had just completely left me, and I was sort of at the mercy of doctors all around me and nurses. And don't get me wrong, they're incredible, but at 19, you don't want to be surrounded by that sort of stuff. So yeah, my life was completely changed. But thankfully, that treatment worked and I was in remission. And I went for another consultation to talk about next steps. And they said, you're going to have some radiotherapy. Okay, that's fine. Can you tell me why? Yeah, so I had a big tumour in my chest that was right between my breasts. And it was, I think they said in the end, it was sort of the size of like a Coke can, right between my boobs. And they were like, as much as the chemotherapy has shrunk the tumour, we want to give you some radiotherapy to completely see it off. And I was like, great, yeah, I don't ever want to go through this again. No one ever would want to. As much as I love all the nurses, I'm all right for coming back. So went into radiotherapy and I had that for 3 weeks, every single day. 5 years later, I get discharged. I'm in remission, I'm fine, I'm healthy. It's all a good ending to the story at that point. And then I get a letter through the post, and it's inviting me to have a breast cancer scan, because the radiotherapy that I did have to have, which has saved my life and stopped the blood cancer from coming back, meant that I became high risk for breast cancer. So I had to start having MRI scans where they would check my chest completely and make sure that I hadn't started having any breast cancer symptoms. With those letters, from the minute they hit my floor right outside the door, I was scared. I was an absolute shell of myself. Like, I would just go into this complete different mental state. It would drag me back with PTSD. I felt just not like me at all. And it was terrifying. And every sort of winter, so combine it with a bit of seasonal depression too, I'm going through this where I've got to have the scan. I hate having scans. Sitting in a giant polo-looking machine was never an enjoyable experience. So after a few years of having that, I went to my GP and I said, look, I can't deal with this fear. It's turning me into someone that I don't know. I'm a shell of myself, and I can't keep doing this for every year for the rest of my life. What can we do about it? So my GP spoke to some very, very clever people, some very clever consultants who have worked with haematology and worked with breast cancer, and they looked at all the figures and stats of like what that treatment did actually do. And what are my chances of actually getting breast cancer? And they said the best we can narrow it down is to 40 to 70% more likely than the normal person to get breast cancer in your lifetime. So, not odds I ever wanted to face.
So of course last year, or a couple of years ago now, you made a decision. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so following that, I was given 3 choices. They said I could take some medication, which would bring on other sort of symptoms, like early menopause. Again, I've already been through the sweats when I had cancer the first time, didn't really fancy that. And I could just leave it and carry on with the scans and dealing with the horrible anxiety. Or I could get a double mastectomy. So I chose that third option. So in April of last year, I decided to have a double mastectomy, flat closure, so I didn't get any reconstruction. The recovery is longer. I wanted to get back into football, and I just wanted to go and live my damn life. I'd had enough of all this cancer, and I just wanted to put it all behind me.
And fair play to you completely. And of course, I've known you quite a while, and I've seen you through that surgery, and the difference to you has been tenfold of your confidence, and your just the anxiety that you were showing isn't there anymore as much. And I think that is a testament to why it's been so good for you. I want to quickly ask you about the Western Half Marathon.
Okay, yeah.
So I know you took part and successfully did it, but there was a turning point in that marathon, wasn't there, for you?
Yeah, so I did the Western Super Half this year, and I kind of signed up on a bit of a whim. My brother was really into running, and I thought, I'll give it a go. Usually only run around a football pitch, and even then, that's kind of pushing it for a definition. But I was full of cold, and it was a horrible, wet, rainy day, and we're running along, and my brother's wearing a top for CoppaFee, which is the breast cancer charity that we're sort of raising awareness for, and so was I. And then halfway through, I was like, I need to take off my base layer, so like my Under Armour, and I took that off, so I'm completely topless, and I thought, do you know what, sod it, I want to kind of show what someone can look like who's survived. And it wasn't about showing off any particular part of my body. I've still got bits that wobble, but I just wanted to show that no matter what your body looks like, it's something you can be proud of if you're surviving in it. So I ran the second half of the Western Super Half topless.
And was that step one of your challenge for this year, or was that what prompted it?
So that was kind of like step one of my challenges. Do you want me to go into the challenges?
Yeah, I was going to say, I know that Sam has taken on for CoppaFee this year the triple no nipple challenge.
Yep.
Which again was almost prompted, if you like, or started with that Super Half.
Yep.
Tell me about the rest of it.
So after the Super Half, that was kind of like a bit of a trial for me. Like, can I do something like that? And I'd already had in my head that I wanted to do something sort of outlandish and exciting and raise some money for an amazing charity. So this year, I'm running the London Marathon for CoppaFee, and I'm going to be doing that topless to raise awareness of breast cancer and double mastectomies and what they look like. But I'm not stopping there. I'm also in June, so the same day as your golf day, doing a cycle ride called Chase the Sun. So I think it's 20 to 5 in the morning or 4:30 in the morning. We start at Minster-on-Sea, and I get on my bike, and I'm going to ride 205 miles in one day with the aim of getting back on Weston-super-Mare Pier just before the sun sets. And I'm going to do that topless too. And again, I'm not stopping there because I'm an absolute crazy person still, it seems. In September, I'm going to be taking on Swim Serpentine, which is a 2-mile swim in London. Again, topless, freezing cold, and doing that again to raise awareness and money for CoppaFee, because with CoppaFee, they're a charity that's aimed at raising awareness of breast cancer in young people. And I feel as though, had I known more about that charity and known more about the signs and symptoms of breast cancer when I was going through all the scans and stuff myself, I might have sort of had a bit more confidence myself. I might not have found all that experience so scary. But turns out I only kind of found out about them sort of after the fact, and I want to make sure that more people know about CoppaFee, because there are really young people out there that get diagnosed with breast cancer in their 20s.
And that's one of the reasons why us with Weston Bay Rotary wanted to reach out to you to see if it was something we could do within that day. And of course, June the 20th for our golf day, but your Chase the Sun. What we're hoping to do is to be able to track you. I think you said you were going to have a GPS attached.
Yeah, I can send you my Garmin link.
Yeah, so we'll be able to put on the day, we'll have a SAM tracker.
Yeah.
Seeing what your progress is,
See if
and
we can beat
hopefully once the golf day and everything's finished and it's been a success, we can maybe move down to the pier to welcome you back to Weston. Is the plan, shall we say, at the moment. Key question, and I think we probably know most of the answer anyway, but why do you do what you do?
As I've sort of touched on, it's about raising awareness. This is not about me. It's not about me as an individual. It's not about me and just my journey. It's about the journey of all the men and women that get diagnosed with breast cancer from a young age or at an old age, like what they have to go through, and just really raising awareness of how you can check your chest, why you should check your chest, and how survival looks on someone. It's really different. It varies. I've had times where I've been right down here, but at the moment you're lucky to see someone that's right up here because of the steps I've taken to keep myself going.
That's brilliant. It's really, really inspirational. And finally, really, on this one is what it's not going to be smooth sailing. You know that. We all know that it's going to be a challenge for you. Otherwise, that's it. But what are the main challenges that you face prepping for these events and carrying on, really?
So all the training. Oh my goodness, it has not stopped raining, right? I've been running in that, believe it or not. So yeah, of course, the training is a challenge that I have to overcome in itself. On the day, the adrenaline will only carry me so far, so I need to make sure my legs are all fit and ready. But actually, the whole taking my top off and putting myself out there in quite a vulnerable position, I think is something that I am going to struggle with on the day. As much as I love the body I'm in and I'm proud of like how I look and all that sort of stuff, I know that there's other people that aren't going to understand that from just looking at me running along the road. So yeah, we're going to be raising awareness, but I am going to be a little bit self-conscious, and I really I'm grateful for the support of all you guys, knowing that I've got you guys back home when I'm in London that are going to be sort of thinking about me and hopefully cheering me on. You can watch me on the telly, hopefully. Knowing that you guys have got my back, that kind of deters from any negative feedback or opinions that I would see. So I really appreciate all the support, and you can help me overcome those challenges just by doing that.
Wonderful. At this point, I'd like to just extend to any questions from the floor. Has anybody got anything they'd like to ask Sam?
So many.
Go for
Anybody
it.
got any questions they'd like to ask Sam that doesn't mean we're late for dinner?
No, go for it.
CoppaFee, can I go to there first? First of all, thank you. You're an inspiration.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, we went through our own scare last year, and it was frightening. My mental health, and I'm positive pants, was absolutely a mess. And so, fair play to you.
Thank you.
You really are inspiring me right now. CoppaFee is, what do they actually do? If you can explain, so when we raise money, what are we giving money for?
So with CoppaFee, they do a lot around breast cancer awareness. They will send volunteers into schools and universities to teach young people how to check their chest. With young people, they find that not so many of them know how to do those sorts of things. They've got a service that you can sign up to where you get a text every month reminding you to do your chest check, and they tell you again how to do all the check-in. They campaign with the government, so they try and get changes made in government. The National Cancer Plan this year, for the first time, had information in it about cancer in young people, and charities like CoppaFee were really a big part of making that thing happen.
Right.
Like never before have young people been considered. It was always just cancer as a thing, and when you think of cancer, you think of much older people. So yeah, they do a lot of campaigning work, and yeah, as I said, they're really out there to try and gauge that younger demographic who might not think they've got any symptoms of breast cancer. Like I said, you feel invincible at 19. So
Sure. Can I just ask one more?
Yeah, of course.
What makes you struggle? So you're really good right now. What would make you not have a good day? Is that okay to ask?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. No, I'm really open about my mental health and things like that, and I found doing that has helped me get to this point where I can speak really frankly about. A couple of years ago, I was in such a bad place that I didn't think I could keep going through it.
Yeah.
And Ross here was one of the people that helped me carry on going and kept me afloat with football. He is. But on days when I'm having a bad day, it's usually sort of set off by a memory or a reminder. Going into a hospital or any sort of health environment, it kind of triggers me, and it's almost like a feeling that kind of starts my brain, but then it overtakes my body, and I get really sort of physical symptoms from it. I'll get those sweats, and I'll get shaky, and I'll sort of lose my way. You have caught me on quite a confident day, so but yeah, like I've had times where I've just been a shell of myself. You've seen it. You've seen me at football training where I've just been quiet, and I'm normally a really chatty person.
Yeah.
So yeah, it affects me greatly.
Also, she doesn't like getting subbed off in the first half.
Well, no, who would?
No, I don't do all this training to get subbed off within 20 minutes.
Absolutely.
I might be rubbish at football, Ross, but God.
I could never play outdoor. Thank you.
No, it's all right. Thank you for listening.
Anyone else?
Anyone else?
I'd just like to say you're a very courageous young lady, and it would, in time, it would be good if you could go to your age group and chat with them as well, somehow, like a class or something.
Yeah.
You know, because you would be a great help in
Really inspiring.
what they
Yeah,
could.
definitely.
Yeah,
No, thank you very much.
brilliant.
Well, one of my backgrounds as well, being a practice nurse as well, and I must admit, if you could share your story with some of the youngsters, because with cervical screening as well,
Yeah.
trying to get women in for cervical screening is really hard, but also as well, whenever I do see ladies for things like that, that's one of the things that we talk about is checking breasts, but I must admit, I think as well you could really, really be a local champion for promoting
For all the
that
areas.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
definitely.
Which doesn't mean we want you naked
No.
down the bottom.
No, that's fine.
Also as well, the fact of being able to talk about it so freely and openly as well, because a lot of people just don't, and you're an absolute inspiration.
Oh, I appreciate that, thank you. I actually had to go and have my screening today, and she asked, like, do you check your chest? I said, no, I've had my boobs cut off. And we laughed. And she was like, no, that's fine. But yeah, it's really important for women's health to advocate for it. They've changed it now to screening every 5 years. And it would have been the same with my breast cancer screening. That would have ended up getting longer and longer. And who knows when those symptoms are going to develop. So it's really about sort of advocating for women's health, well, for anyone's health, really.
I think as well also for health professionals as well.
Yeah.
Literally, I think as well with with symptoms as well, which you were saying, a lot of the time it gets put down to anxiety, mental health, and you sort of fobbed off a little bit, aren't you? So I think your story in particular could just help so many people and health professionals as well.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah.
Keep going, girl.
Thank you, yeah.
Absolutely amazing.
Probably time for one more if anyone's got one. No, that's good. I'll take it. Who's your favourite football coach, Sam?
Favourite football coach? Crikey. Oh, that's a thought for another day, I think, Ross. We can debate that over a pint.
Definitely. No. Right. Thank you very much, Sam, for coming to us
thank
here
you for having
today
me.
and have a chat. We all definitely wish you all the best with your Chase the Sun on the June the 20th, and the London Marathon, and of course the
Swim Serpentine.
In that. So we will be absolutely following you all the way through all of your challenges this year. We wish you all the best. Thank you very much, Sam.
Thank you, guys. My pleasure. Thank you.